All right. Hello, Durud and Shalom. All right, Ali, what's happening? We have a lot of updates for today, and I have a lot of questions for you. So,
Welcome, everyone. Oh, my computer just glitched out. Okay, so today we have 5 important pieces of news that we want to cover, and then we're going to
well,
get
let's bring it on
into some
screen. Oh,
discussions.
yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to put this here.
No, sorry. You were. Oh, there you go. Actually, is that the best? Maybe this
Um,
one,
yeah,
or is that good? Okay, let's do that. Okay.
yeah, let's do that one.
Yes.
All right. So yesterday we talked about how the United Arab Emirates did actually conduct strikes on the Islamic Republic. And today, more news has come out that Saudi Arabia has also been striking the Islamic Republic. So, according to Reuters, the source is that Saudi Arabia did carry out airstrikes on Iran during the war. However, some people, Reuters, are also saying that Western and Iranian officials are saying that Saudi Arabia told the Islamic Republic where they were going to strike um, because they were scared of further retaliation. So I don't know about that, but the news has been coming out today and yesterday that the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia have been hitting the Islamic
Really?
Republic.
Saudi Arabia as well?
Yeah, so this is that Saudi struck in March. And I think it's interesting that these strikes were conducted. So the UAE hit the Islamic Republic in April, Saudi hit the Islamic Republic in March, but the news is coming out now. So I think that's cool.
That is crazy.
Going back in on the map, one thing that was pretty significant that happened is that
That is a big deal. Like, I'm trying to digest that for now. Saudi Arabia, if that is confirmed, how likely it is that that's confirmed? This is like a like it's really hard to underestimate what big of a civilizational major change this is. For Saudi Arabia would never like dare. That means that Saudi Arabia is becoming as aggressive as the UAE since March.
it's
Is
slightly
this
less.
confirmed?
Reuters reported it, citing Western and Iranian officials at their sources. I'm not sure because obviously these news agencies can get things wrong, but it is wild that the news of these things are all coming out within the span of 24 hours.
Right.
So, along the lines of the Persian Gulf Arab countries, guys, we actually have another one. We have Kuwait. So, Kuwait today claimed that there were a group of IRGC militants that invaded the sovereignty of Kuwait. And this Kuwait Foreign Office actually released a letter stating that they now have the power, they reserve the rights to conduct any sort of operation to ensure the sovereignty of their country, while the IRGC foreign minister stated that the 4 Iranians that were detained by Kuwait, so these are actual IRGC members who did fire upon Kuwaiti forces and actually wounded a Kuwaiti soldier, were captured. And the Iranian Foreign Ministry is stating that this was due to a maritime patrol operation that crossed into Kuwait due to a navigation system error. These 4 IRGC members are currently being held captive by Kuwait, where the IRGC are now asking them to be relocated to the Islamic Republic embassy in Kuwait and be kept there. So we'll get further news on that as this drags on. Which
We
is,
also had a Bahrain situation as well. I don't know if you saw that. I saw some reports on Bahrain having some conflicts with regards to certain Shia people, thinking that they're connected to the ISGC. I saw something about that as well.
I didn't see that, but that makes sense. Was it like a spy situation?
I'm gonna look it up.
Oh wow. Okay, so we're about to get to something in a second that's pretty interesting. Another pattern that we've actually seen before the strikes, but a little supernatural as well. So going back to the map
What?
here, we'll actually talk about that first. So right here, there was an earthquake today that happened not too long ago, maybe a couple hours, where the epicenter of this earthquake was Pardis. For those of you who don't know, Pardis is a missile city that is very close to the city of Tehran and has been subject to one of, if not the heaviest bombings during the course of this campaign. And today, we actually saw that a magnitude 4.5 earthquake did begin, and now we're getting reports from Shin that there are 2 more aftershocks that have happened since then. So continued earthquakes are happening in the city of Tehran. Multiple people have reported that they were about to go to sleep and they started shaking and they were thrown awake from that, thinking that perhaps the bombs returned. But yeah,
So
what?
how?
Okay, so the interesting part about this, Armin, is that
Hmm.
before the strikes, we saw multiple earthquakes around these military situations, or military installations like Paradis or some of the nuclear facilities. But then during the actual campaign, the strikes, there were no earthquakes. And then now that there's a ceasefire again, there are earthquakes, but only specifically around these military uh, things. And so I know Tusi's reported, someone just said Tusi thinks that they're testing something. It we can't say for sure. It's speculation, but it's a coincidence, I think. It's an interesting coincidence.
So you're saying we just had an earthquake inside Iran during the ceasefire period, and you've seen this happen before, and are you suggesting that the ceasefires are the Islamic Republic testing something? Like, do you have other than it being a coincidence, is there anything else that suggests that?
No, that's it. The only the logical assumption that I'm making is that the time period at which they're happening.
So let me actually, because this was a big earthquake, wasn't it?
Yeah, 4.6. It's not small. It's a mid-grade earthquake. Yeah, you'll definitely feel it.
Can test, like, weapons tests actually cause something that massive?
The idea is that the weapon itself wouldn't cause the earthquake, but it would trigger a fault line, and that
Oh
fault
wow.
line would, it's like how an avalanche starts, where like you can roll a small snowball off the top of a slope, and then that snowball picks up and causes the entire slope to cause an avalanche. It's kind of like that idea. So if they're
Hmm.
testing weapons underground, that could be a possibility.
I will look that up, but before I look that up, with regards to Bahrain, because you covered Kuwait, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, but let me tell you about this. In on May 12th, okay, so we had a life sentence. A Bahraini court sentenced a woman to life in prison for sharing photos and coordinates of vital sites with Iran's Revolutionary Guard. So there's that. We had mass arrest. Security forces arrested 41 individuals linked to an IRGC backed cell accused of espionage and spreading the Velayat Faqih ideology. Bahrain, by the way, is really dangerous for them because they are majority Shia ruled by Sunnis. So the Islamic Republic has always looked at Bahrain as a potential place that they could have a Shia revolution against the Sunni rulers there, right? And then we have Bahrain is currently co-authoring a UN Security Council resolution to halt Iranian maritime economic terrorism in the Strait of Hormuz. And there are 3 MPs were recently expelled from parliament in Bahrain for opposing royal decrees that strip citizens from citizenship from individuals supporting Iranian interests. These are the updates in Bahrain.
It sounds like the Bahraini government has a pretty tight leash on its MPs if they were able to do that so quick.
Right.
Yeah, I heard about that
Yeah.
Bahraini situation about that the woman with the selling of information or spying essentially. But it seems like if I didn't know any better, I would almost guess that the CIA or Mossad went up and dug all this information on the Persian Gulf Arab states and is releasing them all at the same time. Like they already had this information about the UAE, Saudi joining in on the strikes, and they decided to release them right now, right before President Trump goes to China. Because if I'm Israel, I imagine that I actually have a little bit of anxiety with Trump going to China and potentially making some sort of deal that could be to Israel's deficit.
What deal you would make with China? We were talking about this yesterday. We were talking about what United States has to offer to China for whatever they want regarding Iran. And one thing that we didn't consider is the theory that United States might reduce its support for Taiwan in response for China reducing its support for the Islamic Republic. So this is what some of the people think when it comes to the Dundro doctrine, is that President Trump, again, not my theory, okay, but it's out there, President Trump's understanding of world powers and their area of influence is that United States will have its own area of influence, and it would want Russia and China to back off its areas, and in return, United States will back off their areas of influence, right? So the deal that we're talking about here between United States, Russia, and China, this is the theory suggests that United States will back off slowly supporting Ukraine and also back off slowly supporting Taiwan, and China and Russia in return will back off America's hemisphere and also the Middle East. So stop supporting the Islamic Republic and we'll reduce our support for Taiwan and Ukraine. That's the deal.
Yeah, that seems pretty plausible. And that's why Taiwan has been heavily relying on Ukraine in the past couple of years. They've been obsessing over the drone technology. They've been trying to perfect their underwater drone technology as well. Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to get troops from mainland China into Taiwan, you do have to cross them over with ships. So the idea that Taiwan is going for is that they can easily defend their 100-mile stretch of water between them and China with a ton of these underwater drone swarms. And they've been pretty reliant on Ukraine's strategy as a whole, as to how Ukraine has been dealing with Russia, which is, a much bigger country, to kind of strategize and build a plan for themselves on that side. But I wouldn't be too surprised. It would definitely benefit the U.S. Largely, particularly and like people think, okay, well, if they lose Taiwan, we lost all these semiconductors, right? Like no one else can produce these semiconductors. Taiwan's the only place. You're right, but if you can control the terms of trade with China in terms of oil, then you guys are still reliant on each other. So that might be the angle that they're going for, but I guess we're going to find out pretty quick. I mean, President Trump left today, and he's going to arrive tomorrow. He's also leaving on Friday. So he's going to be there for 2 days. And I imagine at the end of that, we're going to have a pretty good understanding of what's going on. Fun fact, over a dozen tech CEOs and business CEOs are going with him. So Marco Rubio's going with him. Pete Hegseth's going with him. Scott Bessent, and then Elon Musk, among other tech CEOs, are also going to China with Donald Trump. So they're going to be discussing a wide variety of things, because you can tell from Pete Hegseth being there. So obviously they're going to discuss Iran, etc. Yeah.
So, but what do you think about the likelihood of this? Here's an interesting thing. You know Ahmadinejad, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Ahmadinejad years ago came up with this theory that this is what they're going to do. These three countries are going to do. They're going to make a deal. We'll take over Iran. Russia takes over. The United States will say, we'll take over. We'll basically bring Iran to our sphere of influence, and Russia will take Ukraine and Eastern Europe, and China will take Taiwan. I'm not saying that, but it's interesting that Ahmadinejad said that this is the deal that these three powers have made with each other.
Did he say that when he was president?
No, after. But it was still years ago. Yeah.
That's
by the way, he's also missing. Yeah. Why?
Yeah,
why
is it surprising? Missing. Yeah, it's surprising because, so for those of you who don't know who Ahmadinejad is, he was the president of the Islamic Republic, I think during 2008, 2009, 2010. I think so. And he is a Holocaust denier and generally believed by the Iranian public to be an imbecile. So it's interesting that he's giving a theory like that, which has a ton of holes in it, because obviously I don't think Russia is going to win in Ukraine. I don't think that's going to happen. But interesting.
By the way, you're doing your segment on school in how long? Like how long from now? I just wanted to make sure that people know about this. So guys, Ali is going to go to our discussion group, which is the link is right here, in 3 hours from now, correct?
In 2. Wait, no, so it'll be 3 soon. So yeah, 3 hours, yeah.
In 3 hours from now. So if you guys want to go talk to Ali, you could go over here and oh, actually, let me put this one on. I changed the colors so we know who's okay. This is takes you to the same place, but you could scan this QR code and it will take you to Ellie's to the discussion group, and check the calendar if you want to talk to Ellie about all of this stuff. So Ellie, I wanted to ask you about this. Based on, do you have anything else that you want to share from the map before I ask you this?
Yeah, but they're not going to be geopolitical stuff. They're going to be the IRGC exercise that came out, which is a meme. And then we actually got some more footage about the Iranian girl in Germany who was blinded by the regime in one eye. So there's a follow-up on that. So
show the original and then also what the follow-up. Oh, somebody is asking, are you going to stream on YouTube or only on school? Ali, you're going to stream it on YouTube as well here, right? On both your channel and Liberty Politics.
Guys, so you can watch it on either Liberty Politics or my channel, and it'll be live.
Right. Okay, and so also...
Yeah, go on.
Okay, yeah. No, you go ahead. Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to go show you guys the original clip. So we're going to go over to Germany here. And in Germany, I think this was 2 days ago. In Germany, we have the usual crowd harassing pro-Iranian people supporters. So we'll show you guys this clip here, and we'll show you guys what happened afterwards.
Nein, lass sie. Alisha, bitte gebe. Lass sie einfach, ja? Guck mal, die ganze Palästinenser wohnen hier.
Du Idiot, ich bin Deutscher, was laberst du?
Islamic Republic is terrorist! خلاص is terrorist! Islamic Republic shuts me down! Islamic Republic shuts me down! Islamic Republic shuts me down!
Deutschland mit Gehör, verstehst du?
Ja!
Okay, so I actually didn't watch the full video, but as they're walking, we can tell that this guy right here, this guy in the back, is wearing a keffiyeh, and he started cussing at them in German. So I heard Scheiße. I heard Scheiße, and then it appears that the man and this girl right here particularly, I don't think she actually realizes what she's doing. I think she's just a brainwashed, useful idiot, this girl right here. But then we have this man who's trying to protect the girl holding the flag. And he also speaks German, and he's calling them idiots because they started cussing at him. But and then we obviously have her saying that the Islamic Republic are terrorists and that they shot her in the eye. After this happened, we saw that they continued to harass her. I'll pull this up right now. So they ended up gathering a crowd and ended up harassing her to the point where she required multiple police officers to provide security for her.
Wow.
So, yeah, I think that was interesting. And these
so
guys are
bizarre that
speaking in
you have-
Arabic. So,
I'm assuming this is a white European girl attacking this Middle Eastern girl for saying that the Islamic Republic is terrorist. Right? We have a white European girl with a Palestinian flag on her cheek attacking this Middle Eastern girl who is saying Islamic Republic is terrorist and pointing out to the fact that they shot her in the eye. This is insane. These people are vile.
I think only 6 months ago, that girl wouldn't have done that.
Oh, really? Why? Why do you think that?
Because I think she wouldn't have been able to even differentiate what that flag meant, and she would have just seen a Middle Eastern woman and just been okay with it. But now that she's learned to associate the flag with the enemy, like pro-Israel, pro-US imperialism, now she's like, that's bad. Even if this woman has been blinded and and maybe hundreds of thousands of women have had horrible things happen to them, but the US and Israel, so it doesn't matter.
So this happened in Germany, right? Somebody was asking. Okay. Actually, that's a very good point, because that should suggest that our movement has been very successful, because now people recognize that flag as their enemy. So if people end up hating the lion and sun flag as much as they hate the Israeli flag, that's good, because that means that we have managed to. First of all, we're being hated by the right people. We don't want these people on our side. Like if these people like us, then we're doing something wrong, right? Also, that means that we're getting the recognition that we need for the lion and sun flag. I mean, it should be an honor for us to be as hated by these people.
Another thing, which is a very this is a sentiment that's shared amongst most Iranians in Iran, who are very interested in the political events that have been going on. Because, guys, there are Iranians in Iran who never have liked politics, have done their best to stay away from them, and right now are just trying to weather the current storm out. Okay, but most people are interested. everyone wants to know, in addition, so what Armin was saying, in addition to those points, we know who stands against us. We know who was there and who wasn't. And the Iranian people are very, very interested to know and remember for the future who was there and who wasn't, which actually reminds me of something. Did you know that today the Norwegian foreign minister visited Iran and held meetings with Araghchi, and they shook hands and they took pictures? That is something that the Iranian people will not forget. Not forget, especially now. Like, what other foreign ministers are coming to Iran right now to shake Araghchi's hand? Why Norway of all people? It's
Do you have that?
yeah, I'll find it in a second while I look for it.
You know, Norway's politicians, and unfortunately the population, is very, very, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but my understanding is that they're very anti-Israel, pro-Palestine, pro-axis of resistance population and politicians. Is that do I have the correct understanding? Yes. Somebody's saying, yeah. Fine Stars is saying Norway has fallen to communist hands. Yes, Neil Bunny is saying yes.
I found the clip
Correct.
posted by Iran International today.
Okay, you want to bring it up? Oh, there.
So there appears to be no audio, but this is the deputy foreign minister of Norway.
Oh, go back. You see they're wearing hijab as well. Oh my.
Yeah, in there.
Back. Right. Is that? You look at that. That's
I think that's blonde hair, right there.
Yeah, they're wearing hijab. God damn it!
This is truly pathetic. I don't even know what the purpose of this visit would be, other than a PR move to probably
look at him, like bending over as well as respect. They just literally committed the greatest act of massacre in modern day history. Look at the level of respect they're showing them. Shame on you.
See, the Iranian people are never going to forget this right here. This is going to be a pretty big stain on Norway. And yeah, you can see actually another Norwegian woman in the back speaking with someone from Araghchi's team, and she's wearing the hijab. But don't worry, guys, because they pulled the headscarf a little back, so they're actually very progressive and liberal.
No, oh my god, it's disgusting. You know, sometimes I feel Norway doesn't even pay a price for this horrible position that they're taking. Like, they not only they're supporting these Islamic terrorism, but they're also not allowing it in. So they're the greatest hypocrites. They're you know what I mean? Like, you don't see as much of them. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because you know the Spanish government, for example, is supporting Islamic terrorism, and they're also allowing it in Spain. But Norway, I feel like they are saying it, yeah, like, let's support that garbage for other people, but don't bring it into our own backyard.
Someone in the chat asked, actually,
You could highlight. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Ali and Armin. My question to do with the mullah coming out of the IRGC supporters saying that Mosshaba was fine and will come to talk to them all. Do you think they picked someone to take his place and that they would make up a story saying that he had massive plastic surgery, but it's a whole different person because Mosshaba is dead? Do you think they would have a fake Mosshaba? Okay, so I don't know. I think Mosshaba is still either completely out of commission medically or he's dead.
Really? What makes you say that?
I think they would have released even like an audio of him.
So you think Pezeshkian just came out with, completely made up that story because like he's a better liar than like he just was like, oh yeah, I met with him. He was so great and it was such an honor, and he just completely made. I mean, I know these people lie, by the way, guys, right? But Pezeshkian is so retarded that I think you could tell if he's lying from his face. It's just amazing that he has that skill to lie like that.
I think the Islamic Republic released a picture of Pezeshkian meeting with Mojtaba, didn't they?
No.
Oh, they didn't? Okay.
There's nothing. There's nothing. By the way, plastic surgery is not an option because like it doesn't work like that. Like I don't know, do we have plastic surgery hasn't gotten like Mission Impossible level, you know, we haven't gotten to the point where you could do that. Where you could make somebody look like somebody else. We don't have that yet. So I don't think that that's an option. I mean, we don't still even have the option. If somebody's face is damaged, we don't even yet have the technology to make their face exactly like how it was. We don't even have that, let alone making somebody look like somebody else without anybody being able to tell. Oh, what if okay, here, this is not the case, okay, at all. But let's just for the sake of argument, what if he's dead and they just bring someone else with burnt face? And we're like, yep, his face was burnt. And he's somebody else. It's completely somebody else. They could do that. But I'm not saying I'm making like I'm not being serious about that.
Yeah. I think they just lose more. I think if they showed Mojtaba in any way that isn't him at full strength and like looking strong, I think they have more to lose because right now everyone's kind of envisioning him the way they want to in their mind. But if he actually comes out, now they clearly know the situation.
If he's dead or so severely injured or in a coma that they don't want to bring him up, what is the plan for the Islamic Republic? Are they just going to indefinitely be like, yep, we're not going to show, like, are they just going to go with it for years like this? Like, just not bring him out? Like, just with, like, the Imam in hiding? Kind of like the Mahdi? That's what I would do. I would be like, hey, it's just like the Mahdi, he's in hiding.
That's the thing. I don't think they do have any long-term strategy. I think they're making it up as they go.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know who do you think decided? Remember when they held the assembly of experts and they elected Mojtaba? I wonder who was the driving force back then.
It was the IRGC, because we had reports that people from certain members of the assembly experts, there was a report that was in the media that said that the people who are not who are not willing to support pick Mujtaba should be investigated. So it was an RGC linked media that put out this report that said anybody from the Council of Experts, from the Assembly of Experts, who is not 100% putting their support behind Mujtaba should be investigated, which was basically a signal to you better vote for Mujtaba, you better submit and pick Mujtaba, or there will be consequences. And I'm pretty sure everybody within the Assembly of Experts completely understood that this is not really their choice, that the expectation is to pick Mujtaba. I'm pretty sure there was a fake vote and people voted for Mujtaba, but I'm sure it was with the understanding that it's not really an option to pick anyone else.
I'm trying to figure out still if back then, if there was like a one guy, or if it was all of the IRGC top commanders who were still alive at the time.
Oh, like you think if it's like one main person that is in that's in charge, that is making these decisions?
Yeah. Armin recently made a video about Taib, who is someone that's up and coming.
I was
and
thinking.
he's
I was thinking
very-
exactly. I was thinking
Yeah.
the same thing. Yeah.
and he's basically like the puppet master at the moment, and he's trying to keep himself very hidden. So it could be someone like him. Could have been Vahidi. Could have been Ghalibaf. Could have been someone, or it could have very well have been just the senior IRGC commanders as a whole.
I think, it's actually not as complicated, like if you see it happening, I think people will be like, oh, okay. Like it would be kind of like, it's like a group project, like it would be more like Vahidi and Taeb just meeting with each other and be like, this is a plan that they already had for multiple years. And it's not about, I think the meetings that they have, it's not about picking Mujtaba, because the picking of Mujtaba has already been done years ago. I think that if you listen into the conversations, it would be more about who is challenging us and how could we shut them down. How could we basically destroy the opposition? The idea that Mujtaba was going to be the supreme leader was the already made assumption that this is what we want to do. So the discussions that are having is not about whether that's still what you're doing. The discussions you're having is about how to make sure that nobody else has a chance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, they couldn't even talk back then. They had to meet in person.
Yeah.
Some people
But
were
the
definitely left out of the loop.
Yeah. I mean, the talks about Mujtaba, we already knew Mujtaba was going to be the supreme leader like 5 years ago, even longer. I mean, the Iranian people years ago, there was a chant many years ago inside Iran by the Iranian people. I forgot what year it was, but I know it was years ago. And this chant was this: Mujtaba bemiri rahbari ro nabini. Okay, which means Mujtaba, we hope you die before you become the supreme leader, before you see the supreme leadership. And this was by the Iranian people, which shows the Iranian people already knew, more than 5 years ago, who's going to be the supreme leader. They already knew.
And it makes sense too if you have that supreme leader there, because let me know what you think about this. But since the 12-day war, when Khamenei went and hid in his bunker, the IRGC figured out, we can just run things. We don't need him. And they started kind of consolidating their power together in preparation for Khamenei, who was already in his 80s, to pass away. And then they would have Mujtaba, who clearly didn't really want to be a prolific supreme leader, to just sit there, and then the IRGC to come and take everything.
That's very interesting that you say that. And that's actually very smart that you say that, because that's exactly what happened. And we know that that's exactly what happened. We know that when Ali Khamenei went into hiding for a very long time and he was completely unavailable, that was exactly when IRGC started practicing how to rule over Iran in Ali Khamenei's presence. They started practicing everything. They made their connections. They basically went through everything that they have right now. They went into practice mode.
Do you have the bingo list?
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because it was exactly what I was thinking to bring.
Oh, I actually thought about this one time. I was like, should we try a discussion between me and you where all we do, like I'll propose like a question to you, and then I'll state like keywords, and then I'll see if you can like connect them together and like arrive at the same conclusion. So I can, you know what I mean? Like
okay, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, like the IRGC commanders here, it's almost like half of them, right? More than half of them, I think, were taken out. I'd say about half. So they're the heaviest concentration of the leaders that were taken out, which makes sense then.
I don't know why we don't have any reports for these people. Like, we had any reports from these not enough people are talking about these provincial IRGC commanders. I know Sketch talks about them a lot in our discussion group, but not enough people talk about it. I think we need to this is what we need to be seeing, these people being targeted. Well, so far it's like these. And I'm pretty sure the 32 provincial IRGC commanders have much less of an ability to hide. Like they don't have access to bunker the same amount of shelter that these people have access to.
There were a couple of assassinations that were carried out right before the strike stuck, like the naval commander and a couple other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, also on the 32 commanders thing, the whole mosaic structure, which just means that they're decentralized, so they can cover their own province. I don't know if they can go to help another, like they can't really send their forces to another province to go and help them. That ability is pretty low. And if they do, then the people in their own province are going to be more of an issue. So if you identify the elbows, the joints of those operations, yeah.
Yeah, and also from the 32, which ones are the most important?
Like which provinces are most important?
Yeah, I mean, yep, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I would say what? Alborz, Fars, Khuzestan.
So
Anyone else?
I think all the southern ones.
All the southern ones?
Especially,
like Hormuz gone?
Well, I mean, everything close to the Persian Gulf, right?
Because you think of the launchers.
Yeah, I'm thinking of. Here's actually something that we need to discuss. I think the main thing that will give the United States the ability to just continue the military operations and the naval blockade and anything else they want without any problem for as long as they want is opening up the Strait of Hormuz, right? I think that the only thing that is putting pressure on President Trump is the Strait of Hormuz, right? So if the Strait of Hormuz is open one way or another, this could become a very easy long-term project for the United States where time is completely on their side and they have nothing to worry about. And they could just drag this on for the Islamic Republic for as long as they want. And there will be, and also in the United States, the politics of it, people will move on, not care about this. Like we will go into a slow moving military operations against the Islamic Republic, and the American voters will stop caring because oil prices will drop because the Strait of Hormuz is open, and the blockade against the Islamic Republic will continue. The United States is basically not paying anything in both dollars and lives that significantly for it. It's very easy to maintain the blockade, and they just stay there for as long as it takes and just watch this slow fall of the Islamic Republic.
I'll counter it by saying that all roads lead to the Iranian people.
Right.
Even if you have the IRGC starved and you take as long as you want to starve them economically, you don't have boots on the ground. And if the Iranian people are so destitute and weakened, and if they, most importantly, lose their will and morale, so maybe there is a timer.
The Iranian people are not going to. Okay, here's what I noticed about the Iranian people. Okay, the Iranian people have lost their morale many, many, many times, and they regain it back like that. Okay, so we have had the Iranian people losing hope, losing morale, losing motivation. Okay, getting disappointed again and again and again. And as soon as with the sign of the next spark of the next uprising, they will go back on revolution mode as if this long, demoralization, demotivation, loss of motivation period was not even happening at all. They jump right back to it. They snap out of it like it didn't even happen, and they go back into fighting mode.
Do you think this time will be the same after the? Because we've never had events like this to this scale. Do you think that would? Because they had a very high, and then now they're at a very low.
We had a very high after the Massa revolution, and then we had a very low after that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. But somebody in the chat saying that's not true at all. Which part? I don't understand. What does this mean? What makes you think? No, I'm talking about the revolutionary spirit. I'm saying that no matter what happens, the Iranian people will be ready for the next uprising. That's what I'm saying. It's not no matter what happens, if you think they're losing their hope and motivation and they will not do the next uprising, we have been here before and the Iranian people did the next uprising every single time. That's what I'm saying.
President Trump
I understand
posted,
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, what?
He posted
Go
on
ahead.
Truth Social just fed up with the fake news. I'll share it right now.
You want to bring it up?
Oh, I have to remove that. There we go. Yeah, he's had it. He's fed up. He's currently on the plane as well, so he has a lot of time to post. The fake news so basically he's saying that when the fake news say that the Islamic Republic is doing well and they're winning, it's treason, and that these cowards who are saying that are basically doing the US more harm and helping the Islamic Republic, calling them losers, ingrates, and fools. The country, they have no navy, their air force is gone, all technology is gone, that's new. Their leaders are no longer with us, and the country is an economic disaster.
So,
okay.
Do you think? So here's a calculation I wanted to do with you. So basically we're having two economic weapons are being used against each other. Okay, so the Islamic Republic is doing the blockade on the Strait of Hormuz, and the United States is doing the blockade on the Iranian ports. Plus, Scott Bessent is doing his thing with Operation Epic Fury, trying to close off all sources of revenue for the Islamic Republic. Right? We know for a fact that the Islamic Republic is hurting a lot more than the United States is not hurting even at all. Like the stock market is at all-time highs, right? I mean, the people are paying a lot more at the pump, okay, but on average, the U.S. economy is doing fine. But the American allies are not doing very well. And especially, so Europe is not doing very well. Japan is not doing very well. South Korea is not doing very well. But more importantly, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, UAE, Saudi Arabia, they're not doing very well at all. And I don't know how much ability they have over pressuring President Trump to do something regarding opening the Strait of Hormuz rather than just waiting it out. How much leverage do they have on President Trump?
I don't think they have oil leverage. The U.S. is an exporter at the end of the day, and they're profiting quite a bit right now. Foreign investment into the U.S. Saudi wanted
because
to
they did
do what,
promise
$1 trillion?
$1 trillion. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's real money or monopoly money, because you could just promise investments and then it never happens, right?
I think maybe they were talking about the what they do invest is valued at $1 trillion. I don't know if they're injecting $1 trillion cash in there, like, yeah. But
I
other
don't even
countries
know
would
if
do the
it's
same.
valued, because they're promised. They were just promises of investment. They weren't actual investments. I mean, especially Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has said so many things that has never come true. So I don't know if you can trust those numbers.
You know where else I heard $1 trillion? I heard $1 trillion from Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi. Wait, was it
Right.
$1 trillion? Or was it?
Yeah, trillion.
Yeah, it
If
was $1
Iran
trillion.
gets liberated,
Yeah.
but that $1 trillion is not a central government in making decisions. That's the power of free markets. Okay, that is the private sector of Iran just booming and flourishing on its own without having a central authority like the government of UAE or Saudi Arabia or China moving money. Like that's what I don't like about these countries, is that you can't rely on their private market. You have too much government involvement moving resources and investments around, and markets are more predictable than elites and politicians and specific individuals, right? And that's why you can rely on the market a lot more than you can rely on certain individual. So you could create a financial model showing that, I don't know, in Iran, once if it gets liberated, this is how much purchasing power these people have that would be interested in this. This is the size of this market. This is the size of that market. But when it comes to individual people wanting to move investments, today they might say like, oh yeah, we could do this, and tomorrow they might change their mind, right?
Yeah, they can, because it's just the path of least resistance in capitalism. But the country has to make a promise and they have to stick to it. But yeah, or at least probably holds a little bit more.
I mean, where's the line, by the way? How's that going in Saudi Arabia?
I think they stopped a while ago.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right, so where's that? I mean, I knew, like, it was obvious that it's like, not going to work out, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know what I thought when I heard of the line? So the line is this, like, this city. It's just like it's like a little, like, what do you call it? Like a rectangular prism, just cutting through the desert, like 400 miles long. And the idea is this entire thing is enclosed. It's one structure, and hundreds of thousands of people will live in it. And there's going to be like railways that take you from one end of this. It's just like a line, okay? And they poured like billions into it, and it stopped. Yeah, they figured out that it wasn't going to work. And it reminded me of the Islamic Republic strategy, where it's like, well, we import a lot of food. Why don't we just make more of our own? And let's do it in the desert. And let's dump a bunch of money into it. And it didn't work. Wow.
Yeah, it's almost as if central governments deciding what's profitable doesn't work, and you should just let the powers of the free market decide. I wanted to do. Yeah, go on. You want to say something?
No, I was gonna ask Gemini what leverage they have, and it was just saying the economy first relationship, financial commitments. So like the investment number, and then they're saying that because Trump he wants to be seen as a unifier, like the peacemaker president, that the Gulf states hold the keys. So like ending the conflicts across the Middle East, maybe they'll help him with that, which is a far cry in my opinion. As far as I know, Israel is like the only country that is doing that.
Hey, we got a super chat. We should check this. By the way, I forgot to read super chats in our previous stream, which is like really bad. So look at this. We RKB is saying, Armin, the girl shouting the shouting she got shot in the eye is, oh, okay, sorry, I thought you were saying something else, is Kosar Eftekhari. She's in Masih Ali Nejad's team. She says woman life freedom in German in the clip. Okay, so guys, like, first of all, I don't know if she's Masih Ali Nejad's team or not. And if she is, then I mean, I'm against Masih Ali Nejad. But honestly, when somebody has been shot in the eye, my disagreement with them over them supporting Masih Ali Nejad and she being harassed like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure you agree with me, by the way, on this. So I just wanted to make clear for other people. When somebody's being harassed and somebody who's been a victim of the Islamic Republic being shot in the eye, we would need to support her against that attack, regardless of our disagreement with her on her being on, if she is on Masih Ali Nejad's side. That disagreement is secondary to her, the fact that she's a victim of the Islamic Republic, and also that she's being harassed by that woman. Right? Do you agree with me, right?
I completely agree with you. There's
Yeah.
levels to this, guys. You can't just blanket statement this. It does turn out that she is a part of Masih Ali Nejad's team. They actually have a lot of pictures together, have attended conferences together. And yesterday, Masih Ali Nejad posted on Instagram. They co-posted together. So both of them posted this. It says Masih Ali Nejad and Kosar Eftekhari talking about this. So yeah, that checks out.
Somebody's saying, so she's anti-Pahlavi? Not necessarily. Not everybody. I mean, she's still. I don't know. She might be. She might be, but doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, she's a victim of the Islamic Republic, and she's been shot in the eye. We could just disagree with her over her support with Masih Ali Nejad. That's just a disagreement.
You know what's interesting? So Masih Ali Nejad just posted that clip of her getting harassed by that girl on her Instagram, and there's the flag in it. Has she posted the flag before?
Oh yeah, the Lion and Sun flag.
Okay.
Many anti-Pahlavi people still, many anti-regime, anti-Pahlavi people, you know, still are. We still use this Lion and Sun flag. You know,
Kind of makes sense that she joined Masih Ali Nejad's camp, because I think she was wounded after the Massa uprising. So I think Masih Ali Nejad was pretty prominent back then.
right. So let me actually respond to this. Somebody's saying the way I look at this, we all have one goal, and this is the fall, of the Islamic regime. We all need to be united and eyes on the prize, which is a free run. Okay, I see what you're saying. The problem with Masih Ali Nejad is that she attacks Princess of Pahlavi. Okay, so anybody like the people that we are against, we didn't just turn against them because we disagree with them. We can tolerate disagreements. Okay, they attack Princess of Pahlavi, then the pro-Pahlavi people are just responding to those attacks, right? If they wanted to be united with Princess of Pahlavi instead of being against them, then Princess of Pahlavi treats them with open arms, and he always welcomes anybody who would like to work with him. We pro-Pahlavi people, we are just defending against the attacks that the anti-Pahlavi people have against Princess of Pahlavi and our side. We're just responding to it, right? And so it shouldn't be the pro-Pahlavi people shouldn't be told. People shouldn't go to tell pro-Pahlavi people to all be united with Masih Ali Nejad, because anybody who accepts Princess of Pahlavi then and his team and his plan, is one of us. It's in our camp. The people, but you can't ask us not to respond to the people who attack Princess of Pahlavi.
Yeah, I think Nemo's on the right track,
Oh.
but this is something that we should be telling them.
Yeah,
Which is exactly what you're
exactly.
saying. Like, tell that to them.
Yeah, tell that to them. Exactly. It's interesting that Prince of Pahlavi never attacks them even after he gets attacked by them. Never attacks them and continues to support them when they're in trouble. We got another super chat. Ari saying, "What's the deal with Nargis Mohammadi?" Well, Nargis Mohammadi is a reformer, leftist, anti-Israeli, pro-Palestinian cause, anti-imperialist, with ties to the MEK.
Yeah, she's fake opposition, basically. You can think of it that way. She also gets fatter every time she comes out of house arrest.
Yes,
Living it up good.
Also, yes, yeah, you're right. Actually, there were leaked videos out of him in prison, and they were having the best of. So, guys, just go look at Nargis Mohammadi's experience in prison and compare her experience in prison to somebody like Fatima Sepehri. Okay, and you can see like Nargis Mohammadi's experience in prison is like a hotel because she's fake opposition. But Fatima Sepehri's experience in prison is like hell. She doesn't like Nargis Mohammadi in prison. The Islamic Republic allows her to interview Angelina Jolie while she's in prison. Fatima Sepehri cannot even meet with her own son because she's pro Pahlavi.
Yeah. So another example of that, guys, is someone that you all know and hate. So Arakchi's nephew, his name is Ahmad Arakchi. He was sentenced to 8 years in prison because he had a huge part in the financial corruption and decay of the Islamic Republic banking system. I can guarantee you he's not suffering in prison. He's having a good time. He's totally fine. And then you have the actual people who are suffering and being tortured. A lot of them are put under house arrest, like these regime fake opposition people. And house arrest just means that they can do whatever they want. So,
right. And also, whenever the Islamic Republic needs to bring attention to one of its fake opposition, they actually do start mistreating them, right? So if somebody is losing credibility, then the Islamic Republic mistreats them as a way for them to gain credibility. If one of the fake opposition starts losing credibility, right? And so this is Nargis Mohammadi for people who are wondering what we're talking about. And she's fake opposition. Don't trust her. Okay. Trust the Iranian people. They know what they're dealing with when they, with people like her. We got more super chats. Roman Vikings is saying, "I'm against deportation. How do we solve the Islamism problem in the West? What has to change? Which options do we have?" I actually have the correct answer to this. But Ali, you go ahead and first let me know what you think before I give you my idea.
I'm against deportation. Shoot. That's like the easiest, best way.
Yeah, but why are you against deportation, by the way?
I can't find a way around it currently.
Well, I mean, obviously we have to have deportations as much as possible. But on top of deportation, I will tell you a non-deportation policy that nobody's going to do because it's very aggressive, right? I think that we should have a de-Islamification program for children in European countries and in the West in general, and call it de-radicalization. Okay, we call it de-radicalization, but it's de-Islamification, and we make homeschooling illegal. We make homeschooling illegal, and every child should go through this program, and there needs to be tests. We need to have psychological tests to see if it's working on children, right? And any signs that these children are being brainwashed against the de-Islamification program in school, if at home with their parents, they're trying to undo this, because you could figure this out. You could have child psychologists question these kids to figure out what their parents are telling them at home. And any signs that their parents are brainwashing these children with Islam at home will be labeled as child abuse, and will get child services involved. We get child services involved. And we start with warnings and then fines if it continues. And eventually, if it continues, the separation of the children from their parents, if it continues as a last measure. And this does two things. First of all, it makes the children, not as retarded as their parents. Okay, so we could basically bring them back to the society and make them assimilate using these de-Islamification programs. But more than that, it will scare the shit out of any other Muslims who want to come to the West, because they see what we're doing to their children. And they will be like, yeah, I'm not gonna like. And also it will reduce the cost of deportation, because a lot of these people will just run away. A lot of these people will run away, and even the ones who have been naturalized will run away because they don't want this to happen to their children. Somebody's saying, Armin, you have gone way over the edge now. That's how I know it's good. Okay? Because we have a radical problem which requires a radical solution. And if you were comfortable with it, then it wouldn't be a radical solution. Whatever the solution is requires some people to be like, holy fuck, this is over the top. And that's how I know it's good. What do you think?
I think you should do both.
Yeah.
Both deportation and that. Because that, I get what you mean. That would be very effective to get them to stop coming. But then, where are they going to go? Are they going to go back to where they came?
I don't know. They can figure that out. They can figure that out themselves.
Because I don't want them to come to Iran.
Oh. Well, wait. We will have the same program in Iran.
Hopefully, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Iran
Iran will be the most unfriendly place to Durkas, so don't worry about
I think they'll figure that out. It's funny that some of the most rich countries in the world are Muslim countries, and they don't accept other Muslim because they know that they're too radical. And if they let them in to like Saudi and Bahrain and Qatar and all these other countries, if they let them in, they're gonna, like, they know that their countries are going to deteriorate, and they don't let them in, even though they're all Muslim brothers and sisters.
Wait, I have a lot of opposition in the chat. Let me respond to them. Tell me what do you agree? Because so somebody's saying, but Armin, isn't that what Hitler did to traitors? What do you think I'm talking about doing? You just tell children about human rights and human values, and how, I don't know, killing infidels is not, telling children that killing infidels is not good, and having sex slaves in battle is not good, and beating your wife is not good, teaching that wife beating is wrong, and that teaching that the Quran teaches you to beat your wife and wife beating is bad, is what Hitler did to children. I think Hitler killed the traitors. I don't think Hitler told people that killing infidels is bad. I don't think that's what Hitler did. So I don't know how you're. What do you think I'm saying? What do you think I'm suggesting? You're just basically teaching children decent, like common decency, and you're telling them that Islam goes against it. Oh, you hate my swear words though? Okay, I thought, should I stop swearing? Okay, I'll stop swearing. Fine. Somebody's saying, does it go for all religions? No, because then it wouldn't have enough buy-in in Western European countries. If I wanted to have a program, I need to have enough buy-in to this program. And also, other religions are not are not a threat to civilization. As an atheist, I think all religions are wrong, but not all religions are as dangerous as Islam. Not even remotely close. And I need to have buy-in. So if I make it all religions, it will not ever politically survive. Somebody else is saying, will all immigrant children have to take this program? How do you target the right children? Not all immigrant children, all children. Okay, all children. Because I don't want your poison to spread among non-immigrant children. Yeah, I met Christian fundamentalists, but still, Islam is the number one danger in the world. Is Islam and communism and woke left and woke right ideas by far are the greatest threat to civilization. Again, I disagree with Christianity, but it's not even remotely close to the level of threat that Islam is. And Amir is saying, sorry, I don't like the idea of picking things into children's minds. Amir, are you sure about that? Because we put math into children's minds. We put science in their minds. Like with reading, like in school, we teach them how to read and write. We put there in their minds. Are you against that? So I think teaching children that, stealing is bad. They do that in school. Teaching children that stealing is bad, they already do that in school. So I think when it comes to teaching children values, it's already something that is in every country, in every education system. So I think it's completely fine.
I think
teaching. Yeah.
I think people are thinking that you're saying, yeah, we're gonna turn like all children against their parents, like all Muslim children are gonna be turned against their parents. That's not true, guys. We're gonna turn the radical families, which are the problem. Like, this is a target to them. Like, not everyone's gonna have a problem with being told, yes, killing people is bad, and just because they're a different religion doesn't make them like a horrible person. Having like multiple wives is bad. Slaves is bad. Like, not everyone's gonna have a problem with that. People are gonna be like, oh, you're teaching that to our children? Great. Like, thank you. Finally, it's about time.
I'm actually not against having multiple wives, as long as wives could also have multiple husbands. I think it should just be. I think you should be able to have multiple wives as long as also women are allowed to have multiple husbands. I think it should just be equal. I think it's fine.
A lot of people already do that.
Wait. Yeah.
It's like polyamory.
Yeah, I think I'm for liberty. I'm just do what you want, as long as it's equal on both sides. Yeah, guys, I'm also not turning children against their parents. I just think that we just teach them common human decency and where these bad ideas come from. And if that turns them against their parents, then we have not turned them against their parents. Okay, there's something wrong with their parents. If I tell your child that killing infidels is not right, and this book over here tells you to kill infidels, if me telling that to your child turns that child against their parents, I'm not the problem here. The parent is the problem.
We have 2 more things to share, unless you want to go through a couple more. Actually, I think someone
let me do this
super chat.
Yeah, I think we have actually a lot of super chats. Let me actually do the really quickly, and then you could share those. Sorry, let me go.
No, let's go through all of these first. This is fun.
Yeah.
So people are wondering if you're poly now.
No. But I think people should be free to be. I'm for liberty. Liberty. Okay. All right. Somebody say, yes, she is being harassed. It is wrong, but the thing is fishy. Masih gets funds over things like this. Yes, she does get funds over things like this, and she does use the media to bring attention to herself, to fund herself. That's true. That's true. But something like this would be very hard to pull off because these people, the people who harassed her, they're very easily identifiable, and their history is pretty clear. And you could go see their anti-Israeli, pro-Palestinian activism, their history, and something like that would be very hard to fake. And even if you fake it, it would eventually get leaked. You wouldn't be able to keep hiding that. But I do see your concern. Jewish Samantha, oh hi, saying Armin, love your answer, but still about still supporting it. Well, thank you, I appreciate that. I mean, I'm always for supporting people regardless of our disagreements. You know, our disagreements does not have to turn us into enemies. But I am very in favor of being able to befriend somebody that you're aggressively in disagreement with. I think people should be able to aggressively attack each other's ideas, not hold back, and then be friends with each other, even though they're like very aggressively fighting against each other's ideas. And then Wyatt saying the Iranian army are allegedly not getting paid. Yes, me and Ali talked about that yesterday. We saw the reports. Google said their wages only 90 million a year. I'm hearing some of them are not even getting paid like at all. What if Trump offers to hire the Iranian army? Well, then they would die. That you can't be that open about it, because if he offers that and the Islamic Republic sees that, then you need to. I mean, I'm pretty sure many of them are defecting, and there's secret communications with them regarding paying them and defecting them. But you can't do that on a mass scale because they're not armed. Because the Artesh is not armed, and the IRGC is. And if they just say like, okay, fine, hire us, pay us, then they would just die. They would be executed. Amir saying, I love this collab. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And we have two more super chats saying, Andrew saying, have you heard about the girl who is being deported from Sweden due to new rules? She has been in Sweden since she was 15. I've not heard about that, but when Ali is bringing his last points, maybe I'll look it up. And thank you, Andrew, for the super chat. And Nilban is saying, in 5th grade, I was taught Islam spread by a sword. Yeah, see, in 5th grade, Nilbani learned that. So we could teach other things. We could also teach you that Islam teaches you to rape people, women that you capture in battle. I mean, I don't know if we could teach that to children. But something similar to that is more child friendly. All right, what is it that you wanted to share?
Okay. Should I share the thing that would make us angry first, or the thing that would make us kind of laugh first?
Okay, the chat. Angry or laugh?
Which one first? Angry and then laugh, or laugh then angry? Laugh first? Angry first. Oh. Angry, then laugh. Anger, then laughter. Anger. Okay. Oh, wow. I think anger is barely winning. Okay. All right. Well, be prepared, or this may come as a surprise, and also may not come as a surprise to some people. So, the Pope has bestowed Vatican's highest diplomatic honor upon Iranian ambassador, is the title.
What?
To Mohammad Hossein Mokhtari, the ambassador of the Islamic Republic Iran. Wow. That's great. The prestigious honor of the Holy See, ranked among the Vatican's most distinguished knighthoods. He like he made him a knight?
Wait, can he do that?
Can you even how can the Christian Pope make a Muslim a knight? Why would you even want to do that?
Is this
Like, does he
real?
wanna
You're
does he
messing
wanna
with us.
Yeah, let me take this down. Let's go back to this. Let me double confirm this.
What the fuck? This must be an Onion article or something. This must be a joke. Come on.
I hope it is.
Let me double check as well. This is like this is a degree of lunacy that I can't even. Did the Pope just meet a Shia cleric knight?
Okay, so far it's only being reported by pro-Islamic Republic media. Press TV.
People are saying it's not a joke in the chat.
I only see pro-regime media, like Iranian state media, and then people abroad who support the Islamic Republic.
Would be the first? Would he be the first imam that got knighthood? Probably.
Ayatollah Mohammad Hossein Mokhtari. Interesting. Wow, why are there no like Western news media outlets reporting on this? I feel like they would be all over it.
Can you send me the link?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's pro-regime propaganda. Hopefully.
Mehr News, Waba, Iran. Yeah, it's just okay. It's just all No, okay, that's not. Yeah, this is all 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago, 6 hours ago. Yeah, it's just today. This is insane. If this is true, I feel like Trump's gonna go ballistic.
I don't know if it's only pro-regime. We have to wait and see.
ABNA. What is that? Yeah, maybe does the Vatican have a website where they do this? The Holy See. Yeah, let's see.
Okay, so hold on. It's saying So I have Mehr News, and then we have West Asian News Agency, the one that you showed me. We have Palestine Chronicle, Tasnim News. This is also pro-regime. So yeah, we have to wait for. So WANA, is that a credible source of information?
These are all pro-regime, so it might be.
We have to wait.
Yeah, it could be fake.
We have to wait. None of this. But let's keep an eye on it, though.
So bizarre. There is an official Vatican picture that I was able to find, but it's not Mokhtari. So this was yesterday. but I don't know who that is, and I don't know if he's linked to the IRGC. So
That's a real picture, right?
this is a real picture that the Vatican themselves on their website has posted.
Oh, we need to also double check this other. Okay, so that was the angry one. We'll see. We'll see. I'm pretty sure if this is true, it's going to explode everywhere, and people are going
Yeah,
to
Nail Bunny says a Belgium MP Daria Safai. Okay, that would make sense because she would definitely sounds like she's against the Islamic. Wait, no, let me check. She could be for them. Who knows? But yeah, the source is just Islamic Republic stuff. Weird. Okay, no, she's on our side. Daria Safai is on our side. So weird. Like 42,000 people minimum, which by the way, I actually want to ask you about that, but 42,000 people minimum died, and the Pope goes and shakes hand and gives a medal. Oh man. So I want to ask you, like, or I don't know if this is a question that we should ask actually about like the true numbers
of the number of people who were killed
Yeah.
by the Islamic Republic since January. I have no idea. I just know it's the minimum 42. Minimum 42. That's all I know. I don't
Yeah.
know how high this goes.
Back then, every day that we wake up, or every like 6 or 8 hours even, the number would double. And it was like 2,000, 4,000, 8, 16, 32, 42. And I was like, well, at that rate, then, yeah. I don't know. I personally think it's over 100.
I wouldn't be surprised because the 42 number comes from what they did in 10 hours. Right?
Yeah.
So.
And they were able to do that, guys. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
And they were able to do that, guys, because we found out that they did train for this. There were plans for them to do this. And the plans dated back, I think, around 15 years. So they've been preparing for it for 15 years in case that this happened. We know that people like Laurie Johnny was actually inspired by, what was it, the Tiananmen Square?
Really? Was he inspired by that?
Yeah, so he said stuff like that, like how he's praised the Tiananmen Square massacre, which is
hell?
like
I didn't know that.
It's not comparable to what happened in Iran at all. But
No.
So someone's saying, yeah. So why he's saying 10 hours is because on January 8th and 9th, the people were out and about for like a few hours, like 5 hours. So 5 hours Thursday, 5 hours Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, 5 yeah. This is, by the way, to keep in mind, this is what I say for people to understand the scale that we're talking here. In Gaza, even if you believe the Hamas numbers, we have 65,000 people who died in Gaza after October 7th. And that includes civilians and terrorists together. 65,000 people in Gaza for a little under 2 years. Little under 2 years. And then now with that context, and that's if you believe Hamas numbers. With that context, then think about 42,000 were massacred in 10 hours. It took 2 years for us to reach 65,000 in Gaza. And it took 10 hours for the Islamic Republic to reach 42,000 minimum. So 65,000 maximum in 2 years and 42,000 minimum in 10 hours. Oh, by the way, we're getting overtime. So let me just do. Oh, do you want to do the happy one? And then I'll do the rest of the super chats.
Yeah. All right. So I personally love when we show stuff like this, which is making fun of the IRGC. So today, the IRGC, so a bit of context, the IRGC released a video of them doing this crazy military exercise. You guys let me know if it's crazy.
آزمایش بزرگ.
Anyway, like what they have a single white beaten down Toyota. They have maybe 10 people maximum. This guy's holding an RPG without the warhead. He's holding a shotgun in the open desert. Not sure why.
Go back
but the best
with
part,
the Toyota. The Toyota. Go back to Toyota. Like, this is the only reason why they think this is impressive is because you have a drone going around it. But it's just one guy behind. This is not impressive.
Like, I just know it's dead quiet here. Like, no one's talking.
Right.
They're just kind of. And then the best part, okay,
Oh my god,
is. Oh, wait, I think it. Do we pass it? Oh,
oh,
yeah, yeah, brilliant. Okay, here we go.
Look
So you guys know what this is? This is a tarp of a helicopter.
No.
This is like.
Oh no.
I don't want to compare it to other things you guys have definitely seen on the internet, but this is a tarp. It's a tarp target.
Oh my god.
Like, that's what they did.
Oh my god.
This is unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Crazy.
This is gonna.
All right,
by the way, guys, they released this to scare the U.S. and Israeli military. We have we have a couple pickup trucks. We have about 10 people left in the IRGC, and we do have a few drones. So if your helicopters are sitting on the ground like that, at a like, you know, like right over there, we will blow them up. Just so you know.
If your helicopters are tarps, then be very afraid. Very, very afraid. All right, let me do the super chats, and then we'll go. So, have you discussed about the recent Reuters report on Saudi Arabia airstrikes in Iran during the war? Yes, Ali was talking about that right at the beginning of the show. I didn't know about that. I was shocked. So we need to actually look more into that because that's a big deal. This is a very historical new thing that just happened. Like, Saudi Arabia actually taking, like, I actually need to read that report because if this is confirmed, it changes everything. This changes everything. Trish is saying, I wouldn't want my kids in the public schools in the US. They already try to push their crazy ideology. Yes, I wouldn't want that either. However, if we get to a point where we're teaching kids in school why Islam is bad, then probably not. Then you probably don't have to worry anymore, because whatever poison that you're worried about is probably not being taught in schools anymore, right? If we have it my way, and you're Islamifying children in school, then they're probably not pushing, woke poison on your kids either, right? I would be very surprised if we, in the United States, where they were telling children, oh, this is why the Quran is evil, and this is why we have 47 genders at the same time. I don't think those two things will happen at the same time. So, And then we have Andrew saying, will Prince Charles? Oh, well, Prince Charles is a closet Muslim, so it would not surprise me if the current Pope is the same group. I mean, he wears red shoes. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how that. Okay. Oh, and you said that twice. 2 super chats. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't. You don't have to be a Muslim to be retarded enough to support Islam. Unfortunately. And then we have the final super chat saying, only source I find is Press TV reporting Mokhtari received the Medal of Pious Total Fabrication, in my opinion. Isn't Press TV where Charandi works? Yes. I mean, he doesn't work there, but he gets invited to speak there for sure. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's why Ali told you that we have to wait to see if there's any confirmation of this. Look up red shoes. What, guys? I mean, is red shoes? What is the relationship between red shoes and Islam? Do you know, Ali?
No.
No.
The Pope wears red shoes sometimes. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm looking up red shoes. It's giving me ads for red shoes. So I don't know what I'm supposed to look for. I mean, I've been studying Islam and I haven't seen any formal theological relationship between shoes and the Islamic religion. But okay, but maybe I missed it. Red Shoe Club. What is that?
Sounds very conspiracy theory. I'm pretty sure the British would have wanted to figure that out more than us.
Okay, the Red Shoe Club is a popular conspiracy theory which claims that various celebrities and elites wear shoes made from human skin. Oh my God. Specifically, children. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. As a secret symbol of their involvement in an underground cult or pedophile ring. Well, I mean, I don't know about that conspiracy, but I know another one that has been verified. There's this, you don't need the Red Shoe Club. There's this other institution called the Catholic Church. Okay. And they have proven to be a cult of a pedophile ring cult. And their symbols is the Catholic symbols. They don't need to wear red shoes.
I thought you were going to say the IRGC.
I mean, that too. I mean, I think the Pope makes him more of a member of a pedophile ring than wearing red shoes. Right. But yeah, also the IRGC. Okay. Anything else before we? Oh wait, guys, don't leave. You should subscribe to Ali's channel. Hold it. Subscribe to Ali's channel if you're watching this on Liberty Politics. Let me see how many subscribers you have now.
460.
Wow! Oh my
We're getting
God! There. This is a really fast growth. We're getting it to 1,000 very fast. Guys,
Yeah.
Ali just started and is getting to 1,000 subscribers very fast. Guys, get Ali to 1,000 subscribers. Link is in the chat. Ali Samani, this is the one. Go and subscribe. And the link is also in the description.
Also, if you guys want to talk, we have school discussions, group discussions that we have, and then starting in 2 hours. Mine is starting in 2 hours. And then Armin does his at every day. At 12 Pacific time. So that was 4 hours ago.
Yes. So let me actually put the link to the school. Okay, here. Let me actually use this link. Yeah, I should have used this link here. All right, guys. So here's the link to school. to our school community. So Ali will be there in about 2 hours, you say? Yes, less than 2 hours. So here, let me show you. So guys, the link is in the chat. The link is also in the description. This is the community. When you go in there, you could check the calendar and you can see Ali's segment is coming up in 2 hours. So that's Ali. See guys, this is my segment. You could come talk to me. And this is Ali's segment, which starts in 2 hours. And you could go talk to Ali. And this is open. Open discussion means that it's open to all. All right. So, yeah, I'm putting the link there. So it's free. Just go there and talk to Ali and the other people who are going to be there. Okay. All right. So, yeah. All right, guys. That's about it. We'll talk to you again, same time tomorrow. And yeah, all right. So I'm Israel Chai. Long live America. Javid Shah.
Payende Iran.
Iran.